Hello, my name is Peter and welcome to another video about sailing vessel Silverheels, My Roads 22. So today is Monday, July 15th. And this is our first extended cruise. We did a very short cruise a week ago, just to make sure that things were running smoothly, tweak things a little bit here and there. So we're getting off to a late start this season for reasons that are way too boring to talk about. But better late than never, I guess. So this cruise is supposed to be 5 days, so Monday through Friday. And it should be pretty uneventful. The weather forecast is for light winds relentlessly out of the southwest, which is what we're experiencing right now. And naturally we're trying to go kind of southwest, so there'll be some tacking involved. So the weather shouldn't be much of a factor, maybe a little rain later in the week. And we're not going to any place new and exciting. We've just crossed Long Island Sound and we're in Gardiner's Bay now, just having gone through the race at slack current. And it's just afternoon. So for tonight, I think we'll be either going to Cockles Harbor or 3 Mile Harbor. Kind of depends on what the wind does. Both of which we've been to before. And so, since the sailing shouldn't be that interesting and the locations won't be that interesting, we'll try to take up some of the slack by talking about some of the equipment changes on the boat. So a couple of those are projects we did in the fall and the winter, but there'll be some stuff that wasn't enough to make a project of its own. So we'll be touching on those topics here and there as we go along. So we were out in this area, came past Little Gull, and once we got through the race, I put up the sails. And even though the wind was out of the southwest, I thought we could tack and make our way through here. But the current is also out of the southwest, and I wasn't making any headway at all, really. So I was forced to start the engine and motor down towards this buoy we visit so often, 1 GI for Gardiner's Island. And we'll turn at that buoy and head south towards 3 Mile Harbor, and hopefully we can sail some of that. Well, we have finally arrived in 3 Mile Harbor, and it's about 6 o'clock, which is a little later than I typically like to get into an anchorage, but well, that's the way it is. And 3 Mile Harbor is huge. I'll do a little quick look around in a bit, so I wasn't worried about, there being room or anything. So we didn't just anchor. We pretty much just finished the chores that happen right after you anchor. Things like putting up the riding sail so we don't swing too much, and a beach towel that blocks the sun from getting in my eyes here in the cabin and that kind of thing. So I was initially planning on doing a little segment on solar power and electrical issues, the features, not issues. I'm not having any problems. But since it's a little later in the day than that, and it's just about supper time, I think we'll talk about cooking here on Silver Heels instead. But first we'll do a quick rundown of the day on the chart. And here is that chart. So Pine Island Marina is right up here, just east of the Thames River. And we left there about 10:30. Which is about as early as I could manage. I mean, we spent the night at home, so we had to drive down and then get stuff onto the boat and that kind of thing. And so we came out this line under motor because we needed to get out here by about noon, because that's when slack current is out here, and I'm still trying to avoid the race at any time other than slack current, or very close to it. And things were very benign out here at the time we were there, but again, it was slack current. Once we got out here, there was a breeze, although southwest, and I thought maybe we could sail, although we'd be tacking. But there was an outgoing current, and probably some current down this way as well, that I was fighting, and basically I couldn't make any progress, so started the engine, came down to buoy 1 GI and turned that corner, and again attempted to sail. And I was having a hard time clearing this point on Gardiner's Island, and the day was wearing on, and so finally I gave up. I really need to get better at not so much tacking, but making progress when sailing into the wind. So anyway, we came down and motor sailing at this point, around this point, Crowell Shoal, and then down, and 3 Mile Harbor is just off the bottom edge of this chart, so we'll turn the page. Alright, page turned. Here again is Gardiner's Island, and that point we were having trouble getting around. And Crow Shoal, and then 3 Mile Harbor. Somewhere there's a blow up of this, but we're on page 8 and it's on page 38, so I'm sorry, but we won't navigate all the way to there. But this is a pretty big harbor, and the wind is still southwest, so we're tucked up here a couple hundred feet off this shore where we're getting some protection, because way out here when I came in the channel, and there was quite a bit of fetch across there, there was, you know, borderline whitecaps, so we like it here. Tomorrow, I think what we're going to try to do is make our way through the passage south of Shelter Island and into Little Peconic Bay and maybe Great Peconic Bay. We'll see. The wind will still be southwest. Not supposed to be a lot of it, but there wasn't supposed to be as much today as there was, so. Oh, I forgot. I did offer you a look around the harbor. So, starting off looking basically north. And as you can see, there's lots of water and not that many boats. Swing around. East. It's hard to get a good shot on the horizon these days, what with all of the solar arch stuff in the way. And south. And this is the shore where that's giving us a bit of a break from the wind. West. And let's go up here.